right. Hello, Doctor Who fans. Welcome to the Who Universe News. I wanted to bring you this news report because we got some very, very exciting stuff coming for Doctor Who fans over the next few weeks, and particularly Radio 2 are doing some interesting stuff with Doctor Who, especially given the fact that they've scheduled a two-part documentary. Radio 2 has scheduled for the 21st and the 22nd of October, but it actually comes out on BBC Sounds on Friday. And it might be worth listening through BBC Sounds because the two-part documentaries that will be airing on the 21st and 22nd on Radio 2 are not going to be transmitting until roughly after midnight both days, which is for anybody who doesn't want to stay up around those times, you can listen to BBC Sound through BBC Sounds on Friday if you want to hear these documentaries. But the synopsises they have given for these documentaries are the following. So obviously part one's called The Classic Years. It has this documentary, has this synopsis to it. Britain has changed immeasurably over the last 60 years, ever since Radio 2 launched in 1967. It has existed in the same timeline as The Doctor. The first part of this documentary takes a trip through both times, the Doctor, the Who-niverse, and the Two-niverse. Yes, Radio 2's made a universe out of itself, to find out how changing attitudes of Britain have reflected through the TARDIS. It's tales that featured Dalek Mania, Dad's Army, Merry Whitehouse, Riddle Scott, Cybermen, Hans Zuma, the Beatles, and JFK's assassination, because obviously that was a thing with Classic Who, is that after I might as well mention it, but after the original broadcast on the 23rd of November 1963, BBC had to cut to a news bulletin because of the JFK assassination, because it actually happened on the day of Doctor Who's first ever broadcast. So, yeah, you can imagine the tension on the BBC television at the time, having to break that news after Doctor Who. But there you go. But then, of course, they mentioned here, as the Doctor and his companions are thrown into a world of sexism, racial tensions, and the rise of fan fiction. There's new interviews from showrunners Russell T Davies, Stephen Moffat, and Chris Chibnall, and archive interviews from past Doctors, including Peter Capaldi, Patrick Troughton, and David Tennant. And that's pretty much the synopsis they've given for the first part, which is the classic years, which looks back at how Doctor Who, Radio 2, and basically how they basically sort of adapted to the British culture, if that kind of makes more sense of kind of where they're going with this, is kind of showing how Doctor Who adapted to the culture at the time, pretty much, which, really, really goes in depth with it. And then part two, which they've labeled as the modern era, they say this. The second and final part of this documentary finds out how Doctor Who thrilled during the wilderness years of the show's cancellation, with the fandom playing a visual role in the return of the TARDIS. Listeners will hear from the team behind the hugely successful reboot, plus archive interviews from former Doctors Matt Smith, David Tennant, Jodie Whittaker, Christopher Eccleston, and former cast members Matt Lucas, John Sim, Billy Piper, and Kylie Minogue. So apparently Kylie Minogue actually has an interview about Doctor Who in this documentary, which we never knew this was happening, but there you go. And of course, these documentaries have been hosted by Joe Wiley, who also is going to be presenting the Doctor Who concert, which is going out on Radio 2 on Sunday. Well, this Sunday coming, that is. If you want to hear the Doctor Who concert that they're doing, which is going to be airing at 8 o'clock on Sunday night, if that interests any Doctor Who fans who may want to hear the music of Doctor Who, including some new music that they're going to be debuting as part of the concert. So this is another Doctor Who program hosted by Joe Wiley, who is a fan of Doctor Who, and she's continuing to host these Doctor Who specials for Radio 2, which is very exciting that she's involved with another Doctor Who project that is now going to be going out on Radio 2 as of next Saturday and Sunday, and it will be coming to BBC Sounds on Friday for those who want to hear it through the BBC Sounds app. before it goes out on the radio on the actual station, which is really good. So yeah, from Friday you'll be able to hear this entire documentary. If this interests you at all, then you can go to BBC Sounds on Friday to listen to both parts, and yeah, let me know what you think of this whole documentary that they've created to celebrate 60 years of Doctor Who. But it doesn't stop there for Doctor Who, however, because we do have a bookazine that is another bookazine that's coming out where they're looking at the title sequences of Doctor Who, which has been forwarded by Martin Gatiss, and it's called An Adventure in Type and Space, is what they've named it. And essentially, this book essentially looks back at all the different title sequences that have come out over the last 50 years. They've even celebrated the 50th anniversary version of the Diamond logo, which is really, really cool. And it now returns, obviously, for the 60th anniversary. So there's going to be some in-depth interviews with some of the show's designers and animators. So you'll be able to hear from all the guys who actually created the title sequence back in the 60s, 70s, 80s, etc. So you'll be able to hear of how they came up with all these different concepts that basically got onto our television screens, which is really cool. And they're also doing a prize draw. So for anybody who pre-orders will be able to get themselves this essentially, which is a printed diamond logo taken from the original metal blockbuster, which has been signed by Bernard Lloyd, who actually created the original version of this logo, which is really cool. So you'll be able to get that by winning the prize for simply pre-ordering, which is pretty nice. So this is a new book coming to, which will be coming out on the 11th of December, and it's priced at $12.99 if you want to pre-order this special book that they've created, looking at all the different title sequences from classic Who, which is very nice. But yeah, it's a very nice, nice book that they've created to celebrate 60 years of the show. But it doesn't stop there, though, Doctor Who fans, because the exciting news gets even bigger. Because today, Russell T Davies has announced something that I think a lot of us Doctor Who fans have been wanting for some time, and that is the fact that we are going to be getting classic Doctor Who is coming to BBC iPlayer on the 1st of November. You heard me right. Classic Doctor Who is coming. So in other words, we're going to get over 800 episodes of Doctor Who programming coming to BBC iPlayer, which means that all those people that have said that they wanted classic Doctor Who to be on BBC iPlayer to make it easier so it doesn't have to be tied to BritBox, that is finally happening from the 1st of November, meaning that you won't have to worry about it being on BritBox anymore, which is very exciting. And the cool thing is they're adding accessibility features, including subtitles, audio descriptions, and even sign languages are being added, which is really, really helpful. But it basically, this entire news basically means you'll be able to watch The Unearthly Child all the way to Survival, including the TV movie. And more importantly, you'll be able to also watch the spin-offs, including the Sarah Jane Adventures, Torchwood, Class, and even Doctor Who Confidential. You'll be able to watch every episode of Doctor Who Confidential on BBC iPlayer. If you've missed any of the Doctor Who Confidentials that have come out back in RTD1, you'll be able to watch every single one of them on BBC iPlayer from the 1st of November before David Tennant returns for the new 60th anniversary episodes, which is very, very exciting. And that is so cool. The fact that we are going to be getting classic Doctor Who on BBC iPlayer. But it doesn't stop there, of course, because the BBC Doctor Who website that hasn't been updated for like basically 3 or so years now is finally going to be getting a revamp, meaning that it's going to now be an online archive for Doctor Who going forward. And it's actually going to be launching alongside Classic Who's debut on BBC iPlayer, meaning that when you log on to that, when you check out that site on the 1st of November, you will be seeing the following things, as they say here. in the blog post here that they're going to have. Obviously, they're going to have the delve. They're going to be able. We're going to be able to essentially delve deeper into Doctor's history than ever before. It's in the beginning stages, but the news site will feature a curated journey through the archives to bring the show's extended history to life for fans, including items from interviews of cast members, news pieces, audio imageries, and written documents. Over time, more content will be added to the archives, including special collections of photos that have been scanned at an 8K resolution with an estimate total of 25,000 prints, negative slides, and digital images, which means there's going to be lots of classic Doctor Who photos we'll be able to discover on this site when it relaunches, and it's going to keep adding after it launches on the first relaunches on the 1st of November, which is very exciting, and I cannot wait to see all of this unfold, which is incredible. But as well as that, there's going to be additional gems with over 100,000 documents, including memos, comprises, designs, or attendance research, along with orchestra scores of sheet music, which is incredible. There's even going to be some audio clips from radio programs, documents, interviews, and even music for Doctor Who as well, which is, yeah, this site is going to get a lot of Doctor Who content from the 1st of November. It's going to be, I think we're just going to be mind blown by the amount of content we're going to be seeing on that site on the 1st of November. It's going to be mind blowing. And then, of course, Russell T Davies actually added some comments, and he says, "I'd like to thank the BBC for all the hard work to get this massive back catalogue under one roof at long last. I'm so excited for new viewers. Imagine being 8 years old, spending winter afternoons exploring the 60s, 70s, and 80s and beyond. And we are determined that this won't be a dusty museum. We have exciting plans to bring the back catalogue to life, with much more to be revealed soon." Which I find very interesting. He says there'll be more to be revealed. So it begs the question, could we be seeing Peter Cushing's movies come to BBC iPlayer? Yeah, I don't know. Why don't you let me know in the comment section. Would you like to see Peter Cushing's Dalek movies come to BBC iPlayer later this year, maybe? Or maybe perhaps he's talking about maybe some newly found Doctor Who ends up happening this year, which I think that'll be a really cool surprise for Doctor Who fans for the 60th. I think that'll be amazing. But yeah, I'll be interested. Like I said, I'm interested to see what he means by there's going to be more to be revealed. So could there be some more surprises coming to BBC iPlayer with Doctor Who programming? I suppose we'll have to wait and see. Maybe totally Doctor Who gets added. That'll be really cool if that happens. Who knows? And then, of course, you got the director of BBC iPlayer, who says that Doctor Who has captured countless millions of viewers on the BBC for 60 years, and in celebration of this special moment, we're bringing classic series to BBC iPlayer for the first time. Fans will be able to enjoy many of the Doctor's early adventures with William Hartnell right through to the very latest series and the soon-to-be-released incredibly exciting new anniversary specials with David Tennant. We want everyone to be able to enjoy this breathtaking back catalogue, and we're making every episode on BBC iPlayer accessible as possible with subtitles, audio descriptions, sign language, all available for the first time. Yeah, it just goes to show that they've really put a lot of thought into this, and even Russell's been wanting this to happen since he came back to Doctor Who. I'm pretty sure he wanted this to be the main focus of the anniversary year, is for them to bring Classic Who to BBC iPlayer, and the fact that we're going to be able to get that now is really exciting. And I can imagine there's going to be a lot of exciting classic Doctor Who fans who are probably very excited right now, knowing that BBC iPlayer is going to be having episodes from the very past now added to BBC iPlayer for the very first time for anybody who may have missed out on those classic episodes, or perhaps have never seen the Classic Who before, will now be able to watch them on BBC iPlayer, which is going to be insane. And it's just going to give more viewers the opportunity to relive Doctor Who's past all the way from the very beginning in 1963, which I think is a great idea, and I'm glad they did it. So I'm very, very excited for for Doctor Who to return. Obviously, very excited about the new episodes, but I'm also even more excited about the fact that Classic Who's finally coming to BBC iPlayer, something that I never thought. I thought it was. I mean, I was really hoping it was going to happen, and I'm glad it's happening. And it's just, yeah, the fact that we're getting a new BBC Doctor Who site on November the 1st as well, it just adds to more excitement that we can look forward to in the 60th anniversary year, which I honestly cannot wait for more content to drop. It's going to be exciting. And then on top of that, we have a new Doctor Who magazine that finally talks about the Star Beast. So yes, this week's issue finally has an exclusive about the Star Beast that's coming this week, which means that that can only mean one thing. That basically means that we're probably going to be getting some more info about the Star Beast later this week. So might want to keep an eye on the obviously subscribe to the channel, because we might be getting some new content about the Star Beast through Doctor Who magazine that might be worth talking about. And as you can tell on the cover, they're meeting Beep the Beep, who is the new sort of furry character that we're going to be meeting in the 60th anniversary, which will be really exciting. So sounds to me like we're going to get some very interesting news this coming Thursday. So might want to subscribe just in case we get a bit of a, and just in case we just so happen to get the release dates from this magazine, which I'll be so impressed if they announce it on the Thursday. I'll be so happy. But I know it's not, I know I'm wishful thinking, but you never know. It might happen. But anyway, thanks for watching, guys, and I will catch you all later this week, just in case we get the air dates of the 60th anniversary, which I hope will come from this Doctor Who magazine, which I think will be incredible if this is the week when they finally announce the air dates of the 60th anniversary episodes when David Tennant returns to celebrate 60 years of Doctor Who. Will this be the week? I suppose we'll find out. See you then.